before I begin this review, I must show you what I got. They were selling stuff there, so I got this shirt with the poster, and on the back is all the dates the movies have come out, and also in here, there you go, ticket holder with Kylo Ren. They only had 30,000 of them, and I got that number right there. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Anyways, Star Wars The Force Awakens, easily one of the most anticipated films of all time. There was so much hype going into this movie. I still remember back in 2012 when the news came out that Disney had bought Star Wars and they were making more movies. Now, without spoiling anything, because the trailers have done a pretty good job of not spoiling anything about this movie, what it's about is a scavenger named Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, is on this planet Jakku. She wants something more in life, though. She's been waiting a very long time for her family, who basically just abandoned her on this planet. She has no idea why. And on the other hand, there's this character Finn, played by John Boyega, who is a stormtrooper basically gone rogue. He's had enough with that. He doesn't want to be a part of the First Order anymore, the First Order being the new version of the Empire, so he flees and encounters Rey and this little droid BB-8 as they begin their new adventure in the galaxy far, far away with their guides, Han Solo and Chewbacca. And on the dark side of things, the First Order has built this weapon called Star Killer Base, run by General Hux, played by Domhnall Gleeson, and Kylo Ren, played by Adam Driver, who is a member of the Knights of Ren. Now, I was so excited going into this movie, so much hype from all the trailers, and the fact that J.J. Abrams was directing, and the returning cast, and the new cast. I was so excited for this movie, so I'm sitting there in this IMAX screen, just the lights go down, the sweat comes down my face, the Lucasfilm logo, and then a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then cue the epic John Williams music with the Star Wars logo. Like, I knew I was in for something awesome, especially when the opening crawl came up and never mentioned anything about negotiations or the Trade Federation. Nothing. And yes, Star Wars The Force Awakens is amazing. It's one of my favorite films of the year. And I'm not just being biased just because I love Star Wars. I am actually saying this is the best film we've gotten, I think, ever since Return of the Jedi. Heck, it might be a little bit better than Return of the Jedi. Like, everything about this movie was perfect, and J.J. Abrams was the perfect man to take on the job. I applaud you, Mr. Abrams, sir, because he was able to capture the magic of the first Star Wars films and bring it to this movie while telling a brand new story. That was incredible. Great job, JJ. Seriously, he is so great. And his great decision of choosing to have a lot of practical effects was very good. A lot of the stuff seemed real, honestly, like they pulled it off. And the CGI, they do have to use it for when they go up to space and they show Star Destroyers or X-Wings or TIE Fighters or the Millennium Falcon itself, which, by the way, is glorious to see once again flying about. So wonderful. I love the Falcon. Like, that's the shirt I wore tonight. But yeah, the CGI still looks really good, including the motion capture performances by Lupita Nyong'o and Andy Serkis. A lot of people are complaining like, they don't blend in well. But to me, I thought they did. I thought they did a pretty good job also in their performances. Speaking of performances, Daisy Ridley, I think she stole the whole show. She was so good in this movie. I don't think she's been in any movie before. I think this is her first movie, which is pretty epic if you think about it. Your first movie is a Star Wars movie. That's insane. But yeah, she was very good in this movie, and John Boyega as Finn, I thought he did a terrific job in this movie. He seemed like he had the most energy out of everyone on the set. He seemed like he was having a lot of fun playing this character, and there is some fun to be had with this movie. It is very funny too. There's some great humorous lines going about. And Rey and Finn together, their chemistry was super great. Their duo was so good, Daisy Ridley and John Boyega. You can tell, like, whenever they release something behind the scenes that they, like, had a lot of fun, like, they're goofing around, and then it really shows in this movie that they can actually still have great chemistry, except this time in character and in a Star Wars movie. Hey guys, while editing this video, I realized I forgot to talk about Poe Dameron. Somehow I forgot about him because he's honestly one of my new favorite characters. He was so cool. He wasn't cocky. He was just assured of his skill set. He's one of the best pilots in the galaxy, and you believe it because Oscar Isaac actually seemed like he was having a lot of fun with this character. I can't wait to see what else Oscar Isaac does in the future because because he's playing Apocalypse in the next X-Men movie. That's gonna be great. I loved him in this movie. I can't wait to see what else he does. Oh yeah, and the droid that basically follows them around, BB-8, the soccer ball-shaped droid with the astromech head, he was very good in this movie. I was a little worried because this is an adorable character, and they tried to make an adorable character out of Jar Jar Binks, and that failed because he had too much screen time and he was annoying and not handled well. BB-8 is handled well and does not take up a lot of screen time. He is only used when appropriate in this movie, and he was very good. However, nothing beats C-3PO and R2-D2, who are in the movie for a bit. They're not in the movie a whole lot because they're trying to set up this new droid, BB-8, which I can understand. Like, I don't really think they would have had much of a role in this movie anyways, so I'm glad they didn't just shoehorn them in just for the sake of it. But C-3PO and R2-D2, for what they had to do, I thought they were really good. Speaking of duos, once again, Han Solo and Chewbacca, very good. But yeah, those two were very good. They were so good together. Once again, you definitely felt like that they hadn't changed ever since Return of the Jedi. Nothing has changed, even though they've gotten older, and even though Chewbacca doesn't look older either. Seriously, I don't think there's a single gray hair on him. But Harrison Ford, you could definitely tell that he actually cared about delivering a good performance, because he tried to get Han Solo killed off so he didn't have to be a part of the movies anymore. But you actually did feel like that he cared about playing Han Solo again. Just very good. Definitely, you could definitely tell that he was not phoning it in just for a paycheck. He actually did care about what was going on. Even Carrie Fisher I was impressed with. If you've seen her in some interviews recently, she's a little nuts, to say the least. But then you see her in this movie and you're like, she doesn't seem like Carrie Fisher. She seems like Leia. That's impressive. And Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, he was so good in this movie. I was blown away by this guy, because he's not just the villain who wears all black, has a mask and a cape, and you're just supposed to be afraid of him and like him as a villain. He actually has a backstory, and you can kind of see where this character is coming from, and those are the best kind of characters that you can relate to, because you actually understand where they're coming from. You don't condone any of the actions they decide to take, but you can see where they're coming from, you understand their backstory, and I love Kylo Ren because of that. And Domhnall Gleeson, he plays General Hux, basically the younger version of Tarkin. I thought he was really good in this movie also, and the way he and Kylo Ren bounced off each other, you can definitely tell that they don't see eye to eye, which is actually pretty good when you have some tension on the same side. So I like that aspect of their relationship. However, I should mention Captain Phasma. Do not be overly pumped to see how awesome she is, because she's not in the movie a whole lot, and to be honest, doesn't really do anything. I think maybe if they didn't say, hey, Gwendolyn Christie is playing her, and oh look, she's all chrome and stuff, and she's captain for a reason, if they didn't do any of that, if they just showed that shot of her walking down the hall in that second teaser, and that would be it. Don't even mention that it's Gwendolyn Christie. Don't mention anything else. I don't think that many people would be disappointed by it. I'm not going to criticize the movie because of it. I think that was just the marketing or something like that. And I'm not sure if she's coming back for episode 8. I'm not going to say why I'm not sure, because spoiler reasons. So yeah, if she does come back for episode 8, they probably will expand upon her character and finally reveal why she's captain. But if she's not back for episode 8, then, well, and a lot of people are probably going to be asking this because it's pretty controversial. Is Mark Hamill actually playing Luke Skywalker in this movie? Is Luke Skywalker back? Yeah, I can't really say anything else for spoiler reasons. I don't want to spoil anything, because it's very easy to spoil Luke Skywalker in this movie. So I will say that there definitely was a reason that he was not in any of the marketing. And J.J. Abrams was not lying about that. So yeah, none of the actors did a terrible job. They did great. I loved all of them. And the action scenes in this film are incredible. Not only does the cinematography blend so well to it because you have these great wide shots, but you also have that awesome John Williams music going on in the background. So when you see the Falcon fly around the desert, or an X-Wing destroy a TIE fighter or something like that, you have this awesome score in the background, and you're just pumped. The emotions you have for the other Star Wars films come back to you, and it was so awesome. Does it have revolutionary action scenes like Mad Max per se? No, but it does have some of the greatest feels you will ever feel watching an action scene, and that's why I love them in this movie. Just everything about this movie brought me back to what I loved about Star Wars. The prequels are gone from my mind at the moment. Well, I just brought them up, so I'm kind of thinking about it. No, think about Force Awakens. Don't think about them. You might think I'm biased when I'm about to say, but I don't care because it's the truth. I love The Force Awakens, and it might be my favorite film of the entire year. I had such a blast watching this movie. Everything worked, everything was great, and it did something pretty awesome. It was able to set up the next movies without separating itself from the plot. For example, there's a scene where Thor goes for a swim in this little lake thingy-majigger, and for me, that scene felt completely out of place in Age of Ultron. However, in The Force Awakens, they do setups for other movies. However, it doesn't feel like it's stopping the actual movie you're watching. It actually feels like it's flowing perfectly, which is great. Another reason why J.J. Abrams was the perfect choice, because he knows everything. He's so good! Seriously, J.J. Abrams, once again, just double thumbs up to you. If I had another hand or another thumb somewhere, I'd give you a triple thumbs up. Maybe a quadruple thumbs up. So for all of those reasons, I'm going to give Star Wars The Force Awakens an A+. I love this movie, and if you are skeptical about this movie because Disney buying it, stop. Actually go see the movie, because it's everything you loved about the Star Wars movies. And if you don't love the Star Wars movies, then you probably shouldn't see this movie. It's that simple. But if you saw Star Wars The Force Awakens, leave in the comments below what you thought of it without spoiling anything, please. If you do spoil something, I will delete your comment and you will be banned from the comments section or whatever. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher, and may the Force be with you.